Race number 9 of 17 in the Core League Season 2 turns left and right for the final time this season. Right here up in the beautiful village of Glen International in Glen, New York for Core League Racing, the sloppy Glen, right here on MDK. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the On MDK Crew show. I am your host, Jack Carlson, alongside with me, as always, to my right to your guys' left, is the 2019 Summer Showdown champion, the one and only Cody Workman. How are you doing tonight, man?
I am good. I am moving back in my dorm room. We got school again. It starts again this week, but only 3 more semesters left, so it's on the downward slope of college for this point.
Yeah, it's crunch time for you in college and for everyone in school, but it's also crunch time for of the Core League. We are past the second half of the season. It's now more crazy than ever to try and get every single spot as possible in order to try and chase for the Season 2 championship. Well, last Friday at Bristol, Joey Stone dominated again. It has been a month full of domination. For the first time ever in the Core League history, a driver has gone 3 in a row. Joey Stone did that by winning at Kansas, Michigan, and at Bristol. And with that, he now jumps to 3rd in the point standings, just 19 points, I should say, behind points leader Brian Pasternak, who now takes the race lead, or the points lead ahead of DriveThrough. 4th place is Michael Kosa Jr. 5th is Brendan Littell. 6th is Darren Gilliam. 7th and 8th place is Trey Normal and Jarrett Lundberg. Their names are colored in gray due to them not participating for the remainder of the season. Cody Hicken in 9th, Joseph Lombard in 10th, Rusty Walworth 11th, Jake Baskinger in 12th, Dale Reynolds 13th, Ed Soundhead 14th, Michael Maroons 15th, Ray Jacobs 16th, Jonathan Ramos 17th, and 18th place, 108 points behind, is Ryan Labonte. So, even though Joey Stone, he was out in front the entire time at Bristol, a lot of drivers, well, it's kind of fitting. You go to a short track, specifically at Bristol, a place known for getting drivers over the edge and having tempers flare. We had a lot of drivers and quite honestly some unpredictable drivers lashing out last Friday night at the Last Great Coliseum. Let's take a look.
That's not a caution! Come on!
It happened again!
Oh, why are we 3? Oh my god.
No! Cody just forced.
Oh no! What the? Come on, Gabe! And I'm spinning here. I can't get off the wall. What the hell, Cody? He just forced me in the pits. This game sucks, dude. This game sucks. My freaking luck in this goddamn league.
Dude, 2 cars wrecking and we can't bring out a caution.
Every freaking week. I knock my light out.
And with that, Cody, I feel like you have something to say about some about drivers that got pissed off.
Jet, I'm running out of grind towels, Jet. There's so many. Spin yourself out, running in 3rd. You wouldn't have been in that position. Well, let's go take a look.
My god, bro, that should be a caution. That's not a caution! Come on! Come on, Gabe! And I'm spinning here. I can't get off the wall. This game sucks, dude. This game sucks. My luck in this goddamn league.
Joseph, it's not the game's fault. You spun out the Look at this crying towel. I think you need a bar of soap for that dirty mouth. Oh, but Jet, why is this guy beating up his head at his table? The 14 didn't do anything wrong. But when the guy finishes 5 laps down, it's not the game's fault. Maybe, just maybe, your driving may be the issue. So it's kind of funny, really, because while Joey Stone is saying all we do is win, 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 Joseph Lombard's saying all we do is spin. It's terrible, Jet. It's terrible.
Oh man, what can we do to help? I mean, Joseph, he has broken a controller, he has broken a table, and he has, I'm pretty sure he's broke his headset. What can you do to stop this?
Hey, Joseph, worry about driving. Don't get emotional, because we saw the same thing before. The whole reason why he disconnected from the race at Martinsville was because he was getting too paranoid about people in his party, so he had to throw a little hissy fit and leave the party, and then him wasting time trying to leave a party made him leave the race. So, Joseph, my friend, please get it together, buddy. You were up there third in points, and now you're all the way back in eighth. Okay, I'm done, Jeff. Please, we gotta keep going. My towel's all sopping wet now, and when I blew my nose earlier, I think I got some snot in my eye.
Oh, okay.
I'm
God, gross.
Probably gonna get some pink eye now or something.
I don't think you needed to go that far. That was gross. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well. All right.
That's 30 now.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let's try and move on before we lose control of this whole period show. I'm pretty sure we already lost control of it.
I'm past that point.
Yes, it's halfway through the season, and you're known for doing your Power 5, but this time for mid-season update, you're going to go through the whole roster for Season 2. So, Cody, who you got in your Workman Power 14, I guess, for mid-season?
Yeah, well, I guess it's, I don't know if I necessarily call it a Power 14. It's just, the drivers that we got running to this point. And
I don't know what else to call it, so I just said that Power 14.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll just do it. This is a mid-season update. This is a little bit of a mid-season update rankings that we got going on. I apologize for that, by the way. So let's just take a look here at the rankings. We got kind of like our top 3, top 4 that you have been present up front all season. Sloppy Joe, What If, DriveThrough, Michael Cassie. The reason why I got these guys in this order right now, Sloppy, you can't ignore it. He is on an amazing hot streak right now. Won 3 races in a row. First driver ever in Core League history to do that. And if you want to count the All-Star race, even though that was an exhibition event, you could say that was his 4th win in a row. And then What If, he is the most consistent guy right now, kind of an opposite twist of events from last season. Last season, he was kind of the Sloppy Joe that was pouring on a late season charge, trying to catch up to Dale Reynolds, who was consistent all year without a win. This time, What If is that guy who is consistent all year without a win to this point. And then 3rd place right there, DriveThrough, rookie sensation. He's lost a little bit in his step, I think, just because Bristol didn't have the best run. He pulled a little bit of a strategy that kind of came back to bite him a little bit. But yeah, he's still doing a decent job. He still has plenty of time to make it. No worries about him being out of the championship by any means. Michael Cassie Jr. It's really unfortunate because I thought that he was going to be higher up, and he definitely would be higher up if he's been able to make more races, but he hasn't been able to. And then just going kind of down the list here, we got Littell, Darian, and Joseph Lombard. Definitely as of late, Littell, even though he spun last week at Bristol, these past 2 weeks, he has shown a great amount of speed. And even though I don't know if I would totally say that he's out of the hunt for a championship title, but he is going to have, some help from those guys up front that have any thought about making a championship run. Now, from these guys on back, from 6th on down the rankings, I'm just going to say I don't think these guys don't have any chance of making a championship run up to this point unless, they do something drastically in their driving to, be up and towards the front every single race, and those guys up front got to have, terrible luck. So Darian, Lombard, Hickman, you can count those guys under a blanket at this point. Maybe Lombard, put him above Hickman, because even though he's at good speed, he's had terrible luck, terrible races. Rusty, I know a lot of guys thought that he was going to be a guy that was going to make a comeback, have a strong run, but unfortunately he hasn't really showed that. He did have a phenomenal run last week at Bristol, finishing 3rd, but I want to see if he can continue that. Soundhead and Roots, they are back there simply because of how many races that they've missed. They've missed more races, frankly, than they've ran. So even though I think they're better than some of the guys that are in front of them, you got to put them back there. Jake Bastinger, he did make a great improvement last week at Bristol, even though he got roughed up a little bit on that last lap, and that cost him a top 5. And then Kamikaze and Carnation, I mean, they've only really shown up to 1 or 2 races each, so not really much info or detail we can talk about them. But so far, halfway through this season 2 of Core, and it has been definitely entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of surprised that you had Little 5th place still after that little incident at Bristol. He's, in my opinion, viewed as a very underrated driver this season. Just he's been finishing races in the top 10, and it shows. Finishing in 5th place right now in your mid-season update. But I will say, with Ed Soundhead in 10th place, I believe he's racing this weekend at Watkins Glen, and if he's able to race, and we know how good he was back in season 1. If he's able to just get over the illness and be able to compete in the last half of races this season, I think he's going to be maybe not a factor for the championship, but certainly for a factor for races.
Yeah, definitely. And then going back to Littell a bit, we talked about it earlier this season. That he was like a guy who could kind of maybe like an underdog, maybe an underrated driver who can make a championship run at this. And I slid Littell. And right now, he had a little bit of a kind of a rocky, inconsistent first few races here. But as of late, even though Bristol didn't totally go his way, he rebounded a little bit. And for the past 2 weeks, he's shown great speed. He had great speed at Michigan. And then last week, being at Bristol, he was really the only one that could contend with Sloppy Joe lap for lap until he ended up making that mistake and spinning out. So I think, the more races he gets, he could definitely be a factor to try to make somewhat of a run towards the end. But at this point, just of how far in front of those top 4 are in points, I honestly think that the championship is going to be decided between those top 4.
Yeah, and if it's anything like what happened in the first half of the season, the second half should be very, very fun to watch. Well, last Friday at Bristol, Cody hilariously pointing out a lot of drivers spun specifically off the corners and heading into the inside wall. Watkins Glen, it's a very fast track, but it's also a track you have to be able to stay on the track. And hopefully in this edition of Workman's World, Cody took the Core League car on the racetrack, and hopefully he did just that in this episode.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another installment of Workman's World. We go on road course racing this week. Fun fact, Watkins Glen, one of my favorite tracks, so I can't wait to take you guys around this joint. So here we go, front straightaway, a lot of speed, 3rd gear, 4th gear right here at the line. I'm going to use this light as a braking point. Downshift in the 3rd, downshift in the 2nd, overdrove that corner a little bit, but you'll see a lot of people trying to actually overrun this a little bit to get a good entry into these S's. Right here you want to get up to 4th. You want to hug these S's really tight. Coming down this back straightaway here, we are going to easily get up to 180, 185, 190 miles per hour. Brake right there down the 3rd gear. Really try to through this bus stop. Going to hold it tight here around this carousel. Really tight, and then some guys, they may try to keep it on the bottom, and some guys, they may let it drift out right there. Get it in the 4th gear here. 2nd fastest part of the racetrack, and there's this line right here. I'm going to use my braking point down the 3rd. Overdrove it just a little bit, but you'll see a lot of people use this runoff. And here we go, down the 2nd. Get a good launch down this straightaway. Going to be tight, going to be fast, action-packed, bumping, beating, grinding. Oh no, I can't stop, Jimmy! I'm okay!
Well, it's fitting that since Jimmy's retiring at the end of 2020, you decided to bring up one of his most, I guess, infamous moments, where he decided to go head on into the wall entering
hey,
one.
I didn't decide it. I had no brakes, but hey, I was
really?
okay. No brakes. I don't know what happened.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
I don't know what happened.
I just want to point out, this is like the 3rd or 4th time you've wrecked the Core League car this season.
Hey,
you are costing the admins a lot of money.
No. Hey, I got a batting average of over 500 for clean runs, so I think that's pretty good.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's take a look now at the race analysis for tonight's event. We're doing stages. That was announced last Friday night when stages will be taking place for the remainder of the season. 45 laps in this race, 9 laps in stage 1 and stage 2, and 27 laps in stage 3. And the pit window should be around 16 to 19 laps. Now, Watkins Glen, even though we get those 2 cautions, we have seen Watkins Glen be able to produce races near the end where drivers have to do fuel mileage. So, Cody, do you think we're going to expect that in tonight's race?
Oh, there's going to be a bunch of different pit strategy. And, I mean, just look at those first 2 stages. Like, you can make it to the end of stage 1 without pitting. You can make it to the end of stage 2 without pitting. So, and then also with this track being big enough as it is, with the pit delta, if you are close enough to the leader, you can come down pit road and still come off pit road without losing a lap to the leader. So look for guys to be doing that, especially at the end of stage 2, because you can pit from the right before stage 2 ends and still only have to make 1 pit stop, most likely in stage 3. And so with that, just looking at how stage 3 is going to work, 27 laps, the pit window being 16 to 18 or 16 to 19 laps. Like the 18 to 19 laps, that's kind of on the upper end because guys can easily save fuel here just based off of their shifting. I mean, if usually when they downshift in the second, if they just downshift in the third, or when guys shift, instead of shifting when they get to 9,000 RPMs, they just shift when they get to 7,500 or 8,000 RPMs. Less RPMs that you run, the more fuel you're going to save. So based off of how aggressive guys get, we can maybe see guys pushing the boundary of maybe 19, possibly 20 laps, if guys are really committed to doing that the entire run. Now, no way do I think they can make it the entire length of stage 3 without pitting. That would just be crazy if that were to happen. But still, it's going to be an amazing. It's going to be very interesting if we get a caution that comes out early in stage 3, and if we go green flag, there's only about 19, 20 laps to go.
And you were talking about some drivers are going to be aggressive to try and maybe push the boundaries and make it to around 19 to 20 laps, hopefully. What drivers do you expect to push the boundaries and try and, let's say, stretch the fuel? Probably guessing drivers around the 5th to 8th place mark that they're going to need a lot of help if they want to make a statement and have a run for the championship.
No, I think I can tell you the guys who are not going to do that, and that's going to be Sloppy Joe and DriveThrough. DriveThrough is probably known as the road course ace in this series. He had a phenomenal, flawless run at Canadian Tire, which is our one and only other road course of this season. And even though there were guys up there with him towards the end, like like Sloppy Joe, they would make mistakes from time to time, and just from pushing hard. And DriveThrough, he was flawless. So I think he's just going to. I don't think I really see him making that strategy. Nor do I do Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe, he is in full attack mode as we've seen these past few races, trying to lead every single lap as possible. So if you're towards the back of the pack trying to save fuel, you're not up there leading laps. So I don't think he's going to do it. Guys that I could see doing it, however, are guys like Littell, Lombard, some of the guys that are back there in points a little bit, Darian. Those guys that are about 5th through 7th, 8th in rankings. Those are the guys that you may see try to pull some out-of-the-box strategy. But other than that, I think the guys that are up front in the points and guys who are going to be up front on the racetrack at that time, they aren't going to be really concerned about conserving. They're just going to push it.
Yeah, absolutely. Specifically, as you said, with the the drivers, I'm surprised you didn't say Brian Pasternak.
Oh wow! I can't believe I didn't mention him either. But
I was expecting. Do you think he's gonna try and push it and make it on or try to push the boundaries?
Now do you want to bring those up because I feel terribly bad I didn't even mention his name just because I'm thinking of other people. But I can see Pasternak doing either or. I think it depends where he's going to be on the racetrack. If he is up there in first or second, I could see him just trying to push it. But if I see him in third and if he has Sloppy Joe and DriveThrough in front of him, I think those two, even though one of is a good road course racer, I think those two are slightly better than him. So if I was him in that situation, if I know those two would be better, I would actually back it up a little bit and take the gamble. Because if you know you're not gonna catch them on speed, pull a different strategy. Maybe with them pushing as hard as they will, they'll maybe run out and you could be in the catbird seat.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be interesting to see what happens in tonight's race. And let's move on to our last segment of the race, picks to win. Now, Blue Jimmy pointed this out. I just want to say is last week I picked Michael Kosey Jr. to win, but then we realized that he wasn't even racing that week. So I guess it's a clown moment for me. So when we recorded this, the day before the intros came out. We had no idea. I thought Michael was going to be racing in that event, but not. So hopefully the drivers we picked are going to be racing tonight. So, Cody, you start off first.
Well, this guy I know will definitely be racing because this is one of his favorite repertoires of tracks, DriveThrough. This guy, he was the only guy that was mistake-free, in my opinion, at Canadian Tire. He did have a small, minor mishap getting on the pit road once in that race, and that was it. And that entire race, except for a caution on lap 1, that race went green-free, and he was flawless. So I expect DriveThrough to get his third win of the season and make the road sweep for the season.
All right, well, the driver I have, who I'm 95% sure is going to be racing, I feel like would have had a great opportunity at winning if the pit road system didn't screw him like it has done the past 3 races. I think if there's no pit issues, which with stages probably won't be, I got the one car, Brian Pasternak. I think he's going to finally break through and get his first win of the season. But it is going to be, I think it's going to be between the 77, the 1, and most likely the 8 car. I mean, those 3 have been just absolutely dominant. Even though Brian has not won a race, those 3 have been up front for basically the entire season. So
and Michael Kosey whenever he has been there as well.
Yes, if he's racing tonight, he should also be a very big factor for this race. All right, well, that was episode of the On MDK Pre-Race Show that confirmed by our admin DriveThrough this week or last week was Anti-Clown. We got the badge for an anti-clown, so thank you so much to DriveThrough for that. He is our boss, so we take all compliments very seriously. And it's time to get set ready for the sloppy Glen from Watkins Glen International. Thank you so much for watching. Let's go racing at the Glen. All right. I understand. You are mad with me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Messed with my towel. There are very few things people do not mess with in my life. There's my family, my religion, and me racing on here. But no one, and I mean no one, messes with my crying towel. Across a very, very thin line.
I'm sorry.
Now I won't leave this broadcast tonight because I respect you too much. You helped me get my little live stream going up and earlier today.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not happy.
I do apologize for it. I don't know what to say to the people out there. What? The people can't even see people can't even see. Okay, well, that issue is Zoom's fault. Zoom is just not working for some reason.
Oh, yeah, great. Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay, for the people that are wondering why there were stream issues that took place at the beginning of the pre-race show, basically I have 2 connections, and I connected into the wrong one, and basically it's the one that's not as stable. So, yeah, that's...
By the way, Spoke Carbon brings up a good point. No, you cannot mess with my snowmobile. That's the 4th thing.
Yeah, can someone mess with your snowmobile? Okay, let's take a look now.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, let's take a look at the entry list for tonight's race. Ray Jacobs is participating, although we're getting word that he hasn't been. I don't believe he's in the qualifying stages yet, so could be possibility he won't be racing. Brian Pasternak in the 1, Joey Stone in the 8, Brendan Littell in the 22, Cody Hicken in the 28, Jake Baskinger in the 38, and it looks like Diego Alvarado from the eNASCAR Heat Pro League for Richard Petty Motorsports in the Xbox camp. He will be making his first ever Core League start in the number 43 car. Michael Maroots in the 48. 59 car is Rusty Waller. 77 is Davin Cornelius or DriveThrough. The 82 car is Joseph Lombard. And in the 85 car, who left the league 1 week ago, or did not participate last week in Bristol, who left the league, he's now back. And back for 2 more races tonight here at Watkins Glen and at Iowa later on in the season. So, with Raw Gator now racing tonight, what do you think he's going to be able to do here at Watkins Glen?
That is huge that he is racing tonight because, to be honest, when he left the league, he was on a roll. He was, he gained 8 points. Or he gained 8 spots in the point standings, like four at each race, and then he ended up leaving. And I was like, you know what? If you can continue this roll, we're coming up on Watkins Glen, and I said it before that me and Gator were 2 of 5 guys that advanced to the eNASCAR Heat World Challenge a few months ago. And, he loves road courses, and he's phenomenal at those. And we saw Canadian Tire before he disconnected that he spun, fell to dead last, and he worked his way up to about 5th before he disconnected. So I know I said DriveThrough is my pick, and I'm going to stick with that, but in a very, very strong sleeper pick. I don't know if you can be a sleeper. I would have to say Gator. You got to watch out for him being up towards the front.
Yeah, I would say Raw Gator. I mean, I don't know. Can you really call him sleeper because he missed only 1 race? It's not like Diego, for example, where he hasn't raced at all this season. Can you really put him as a sleeper?
Well, that's why I said. I don't know if I even would. I just had him there because he was gone for a week, and it was like, so yes, he is back. And so I would say I'm gonna stick with DriveThrough just because I've already called it. But had we known when we were recording our little pre-race that he was in there, I would have really thought about having Gator as our race winner. So you got to watch out for him.
All right. Currently right now, folks, qualifying is taking place. The drivers are on, I believe, lap 2 out of 4. So, it might take another 2 or 3 minutes for qualifying to wrap up. Yeah, I don't think there's really else to talk about with the Core League. We've already discussed it over with the pre-race show. You've already ridiculed me for causing issues with the stream earlier on. So I think we need to bring back some questions from the fans.
Actually, I think we should address how we're going to be broadcasting this race tonight.
Oh yes, that's right. I knew
you
I would
keep
forget
forgetting
about this.
You keep forgetting about this every time we discuss it.
That's like the 3rd or 4th time he's brought it up. I forget about. Okay, I don't really know the full aspects of it. So Cody, can you just fulfill everyone what we're doing?
Well, yes. So we all know how for the past couple of years now, whenever NASCAR and NBC has gone to Watkins Glen, and of course, and then 1 or 2 other tracks as well during the schedule, that they have called the races radio style. So tonight, me and Jet, we're gonna try to call this race radio style. Not the entire race, but just bits and pieces during the race, and then get down towards the end. If we have a really fun battle for the lead at the end, we'll try to call it radio style. But I'll be calling the action from all the way from the exit of turn 1 all the way up through the S's. And then once we get to the bus stop, that's where Jet will be taking it over through the bus stop and then off exit of the carousel. I'll be taking that straightaway again and then through turn 6. And then Jet will be taking us down the French straightaway through turn 7 and back into turn 1.
All right. So I go from turn 1 right up before the S's, and you take over to the S's. And then you go down into the inner loop, right?
Yep.
To the inner loop. And then you carry on to the carousel. I take it to the, the 2nd front straight. To the second to last turn and all the way to the start-finish line. All right.
Yep. So once they get to the final turn, you take it over, buddy.
Alrighty. Well, qualifying is about to wrap up, I believe now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look now. Yes, they're just about now to cross the start-finish line. So in a few moments, we will see who will be able to win the poll. We did see a few of you guys ask us questions using the hashtag AskCorBooth, so we're going to answer that right now. Let's see. First off, Cito Brown, and it's a good. He pointed out a good thing. Is it possible for Brian Pasternak will have a clean race today on his birthday? It is his birthday tonight.
It's his birthday?
Yes, it is his birthday.
Wow.
So hey, what a way to go out on your birthday with a win, and his first win could be tonight. At least I picked him.
I mean, he's due.
He is due. Yes.
We said it every single week, but you know, I know. Theoretically, Sloppy Joe has a better average finish than What If. However, What If has, out of all the guys that have made every single race this season, What If by far has the best. He has the best average finish out of all the drivers who have made every single race this season. Like how many top threes and second places does he have? He has a lot. So he should be up there.
I think he should. We're just now waiting. Okay, and I believe all 12 cars did get in. So Kamikaze Games, he didn't say anything about if he will be in the race or not, but he did qualify, so he will be in the event. And yeah, let's take a look now to see who qualified where. I believe I feel like, but Brian, WhatiFRacing, I feel like he got the pole. All right, let's see. And no, he didn't. And what a surprise! Sloppy Joe wins pole. Second place is WhatiFRacing. Third is DriveThrough. Fourth is, I want to say Trey Normal, Raw Gator. I believe he's fourth. Fifth is Joseph Lombard. Sixth is Rusty Walrus. Seventh is Diego Alvarado. Eighth place is the 22 car Brendan Littell. Ninth is, wow, Kamikaze Games in ninth place. 10th is Jake Bassinger. 11th is Cody H Gaming. And 12th place, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, let's see now.
Hey, YouTube wants to open for me now. Yay.
Oh, that's good. Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
You love to see that.
Love to see it.
Okay, so Raw Gator qualified fourth. All right.
They know to send us invites, right? Because I know Darian is not racing tonight, and he is usually the one that does.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I do hope that they send us invites for the race. I believe DriveThrough will be able to do something.
Yep, there it is.
Oh. Alrighty. We got the invite now for DriveThrough, and once again, like as always, when we get to the loading screen, which take place in 18 seconds, we will then transport right into the race. So it should be a lot of fun. Alright, got the join invite. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, go to the race live. Alright, so Joey Stone will be on the pole for tonight's race. To his outside will be the one car of Brian Pasternak. Joey Stone, he has won the last 3 Core League races, never been done before. Good, he had the opportunity to go 4 in a row.
And we're at green flag here. Going up through the S's, looks like Joey Stone. He pulls about a 2-car length lead over Brian Pasternak. Then it's drive-through, Gator, Lombard. But what if he hits the wall a little bit? That's going to allow the inside for drive-through to get through there. Move drive-through up the second, and Lombard looking on the inside.
Look at Diego Alvarado now trying to make it 3 wide or trying to make a move. Joseph Lombard off in the grass, and someone else is way
that
off.
gonna work.
Drive-through in the grass, entering the carousel.
Meanwhile, up front, Sloppy Joe has pulled out to about a 1-second lead already with the entire pack behind him. Then you got Ryan Pasternak sitting right up in front of Joseph Lombard, who had a great start, and then Diego Alvarado right behind him. There's a three-way battle right now for the second place.
And as they head into the final turn, Joey Stone will lead him off the corner. Second place, Brian Pasternak. Third is Joseph Lombard. Fourth is Diego Alvarado. Fifth place is drive-through.
The guy that kind of had trouble back there in the bus stop, I think it was Gator, but I think he's rebounded a little bit now. A thing that it is going to be decent for some of these guys that had trouble, especially Gator, all the way back here in the pack, is that there are stages. But with there being stages, though, it's going to be interesting to see what these guys do for strategy. They can definitely make it to the end of this stage, no problem. Oh, we got trouble through the S's right now. Kamikaze Games.
Oh,
Gator's coming up on him right now.
Yeah,
yep, he had trouble right there.
Don't know what happened
trouble carousel. Lombard around the inside. They get going again, but that's going to bring out a caution.
Caution out for the first time, I believe. All I saw when we switched to the lead there was a 77 car of drive-through in the grass.
What happened there, it looks like the 82 of Lombard, he got into the apron, spun around, and then the 43 car of Diego Alvarado, nowhere to go for him. He plowed into the back of Lombard, and that's what brought out that caution.
All right, well, this is going to set up for, I believe, a 4 or 5 lap shootout, because, again, stages 1 and 2 are only 9 laps apiece.
So I know too, if anyone pits, I think it's probably going to be guys towards the back of this pack, just to especially maybe Gator, just because from him spinning flat spotting those tires a little bit. See what different strategies we got here.
All right, so Joey Stone pits, falls back to I believe the 5th or 6th place spot. Brian Pasternak now as the race leader. To his inside is the 82 car, Joseph Lombard, as they wave out for the restart here for the second time. Here at the Glen, entering turns 1, Joey Stone, Brian Pasternak on the outside lane, Joseph Lombard on the inside, and Pasternak goes way out wide as they enter into the S's.
Lombard got a great launch there off of turn 1. He's going to clear What If by about 1 car length, but look at, here comes DriveThrough looking to the inside of What If, not going to happen. Lombard, Pasternak, DriveThrough, and Alvarado, your top 4 is ahead into the bus stop.
Oh, and in the grass, Cody Hicken got into his left side tires and a little bit in the grass, and Joey Stone way out of shape and spins in the S's.
That's
in the inner loop, I should say.
Rewind, and then Cody Hicken is around in the back as well, but we're still going green as we go back up front here. Brian Pasternak is caught back into the back bumper of Joseph Lombard. They race down to turn number 6. Who's going to have the better drive off here? Lombard into the grass a little bit, but What If with a strong side there? Side
oh, they put him in the wall! Oh my goodness, the 82 car of Lombard just put the 1 car Pasternak in the wall. They keep going, everything keeps on going straight. And now the 82 car, I believe he just lets the 1 car go by. Maybe he thought what he did was wrong and decided to just give the 1 car Pasternak the position. But absolute mayhem already here in the start. All right, looks like we've got a bit of separation here, at least for majority of the drivers. Second place, and whoa, the 77 car of drive-through. He goes way off pace. He's going to suffer a course penalty. That is not what he needed. Second place in the point standings right now. Cody Hicken. Meanwhile, everything is set sail right now for the 1 car of Brian Pasternak. He has a massive lead over second place. Diego Alvarado making his first career core race this season. Look who's got up to 3rd place. The 85 car is a 43 car. Looks like he got loose off the front of corner in turn 7. And the 85 car of Trey Norman now up to 2nd place. And go way out of shape is the 82 car Lombard. That car is not to his liking right now. As here comes the 8 car Joey Stone. As the Lombard will go way out of shape. And Stone would easily pass him before they come out of the S's. Meanwhile, back up front now, 2nd place now, the 85 car. Now he has a full view mirror of the 43 car. Looks like maybe pushing him up the racetrack. And the 43 car of Alvarado, he now goes by to take 2nd place back. Check right now some other drivers battling for position here. DriveThrough now, he is way in the back of the pack. Right now, I believe in dead last, if I'm not mistaken. 2nd to dead last, I should say, 59 car Rusty Walrus. He's right now positioned in dead last. And, oh, look at that in the interlude. Cars are way out of shape, especially the 8 car of Joey Stone. Goes a 48 car. Whoa! And the 48 car, Malcolm Roots. He had a nose underneath the 28 car of Hicken. And Cody just shut the door on him. And Cody went way out of shape. Surprisingly, we didn't talk about this in the previous show. But, well, we sort of did during Workman's World. Was to be able to stay on the racetrack. And right now, a good amount of drivers are having trouble with that. As a 48 car of Michael just hit the wall entering turn 7. For those of you who are wondering why you're not hearing Cody Workman right now, he is having some issues with his audio, with his mic, so we do apologize about that. And here on pit road, the 59 car Rusty Walrus, first one to make his pit stop so far. No one has made their stop yet, as we are nearing the end of stage 1, I believe. And oh, the 59 car has a speeding penalty now. Wow, 29 stops as the first stage comes to an end, with the 1 car, Brian Pasternak, as the race leader. Or excuse me, stage 2, I should say, I believe. Alright, so right now only 2 drivers look like they're pitting, and that is the 1 and the 22 car, positioned 1st and 6th place respectively. And now more drivers are starting to come onto pit road.
There we go.
Alright, so here we go for stage 2. Brian Pasternak as the race leader. To his outside is a 59 car Rusty Walrus. Green flag is back in the air. Pasternak gets a good launch to the inside of the 59 car Walrus and gets the jump out of turn 1. It looks like a 3-wide mess behind him for second on back into the S's.
Huge, man. Sloppy Joe looked like it was Joseph Lombard. He was trying to make a move, but he thought better of it. Ryan Pasternak now a 3-car length lead over Rusty Walrus, who has a bumper full of Sloppy Joe. He's going to look to his outside. Rusty looks like he's going to give him a spot, and it's a gaggle of cars behind them.
Entering the interloop right now, the 43 car Diego Alvarado got a great jump. Great launch to say through the interloop. Meanwhile, the 59 car got the worst of it. It lost 3 or 4 spots. And now the 77 and the 48 car up out of the groove and in the wall.
In the wall, but one guy who is on the charge right now is Raw Gator in that 85. He has gotten through a number of cars since that restart. And now he's trying to track down that second and third place car of Sloppy Joe and Diego Alvarado.
First to fourth out. Now another driver way out of shape. The 59 car Walrus continuing to lose ground as off turn 7, Brian Pasternak once again with the lead. And now the 59 car is back on pit road. That car has just not been to his liking so far in this race at all. As Pasternak still leads about a 5 to... Oh, and in the wall, Joey Stone! Got way loose off
Joey
turn
Stone
1.
gets loose. It looks like he got loose. I think he hit those rumble strips that had upset the back end of the car and almost wheeled hop it. He gets it going again, but he got another bumper in the shot from the back of Joseph Lombard. Moved Lombard up to 5th, but they're side by side at this bus stop.
And just a little update, folks. We've gotten word out that the 59 car, Rusty Walrus, he has retired. He has quit this race. And the 85 car, Norma, looks like he was way out of the groove. Hit the wall entering the carousel.
Something happened with him. Like, he definitely overshot. But there's another car, I think, that overshot the race as well. But here we go. 82 and the 8 car, Sloppy Joe. They are side by side, not giving each other room in turn 6.
Oh, Joey's still way out of shape. Managed to keep on going. Now he's got the preferred lane. Bit of contact again with the 8 and the 82 car. Off turn 7. The 8 car got a bit of a run, but gets loose off the corner. The 82 car is still fighting back on the outside lane. And Joey Stone will be credited with that lap at the line.
Still been side by side here for about the past, like, half a lap straight ever since that bus stop. But Lombard goes wide. And Joey Stone, he's gonna be able to clear that 85 car of Lombard. Now they're setting sights on that 85 car of Raw Gator. Gator is able to move his way through the pack very nicely since then, but he's made a little bit of mistake and lost touch with that front 2 cars.
So far, it looks like in this race, we should have talked about this a lot more, has been to stay on the racetrack. As look at the 43 car gets way loose entering the carousel. These drivers are slipping and sliding all over the place, so I guess it's fitting that the race is called the Sloppy Glen because everyone's just slipping, sliding around.
Meanwhile, and something must have happened to our leader, What If. I think he was a car that went off in the bus stop 1 lap ago, because now the leader is Diego Alvarado. He has about a 1.5-second lead over Raw Gator and a hard-charging Sloppy Joe. He's looking inside for 2nd.
And the 85 car just hit the wall entering turn 7, so that is going to guarantee the 8 car of Joey Stone to take the 2nd spot away, with now the 43 car Diego Alvarado, participant in the E-NASCAR Heat Pro League for the Xbox for Richard Petty Motorsports, making his core league debut. And right now, he's doing the best job out in front.
Diego Alvarado out here showing, hey, you PS4 boys, I'm on Xbox and I'm just as good. So but we've been waiting forever to see what Diego is going to do here. Gets hugging those curves very nicely here. You're going to see how hard he's going to drive it into this bus stop. But he has a abundant lead over Sloppy Joe right now.
Yeah, huge lead right now for the 43 car of Diego. Let's take a look back at some. Oh, and the 1 car of Pasternak. He got a bit real squirrely entering the inner loop. He's right now trying to recover his way back after, I'm guessing, going off course and losing a ton of ground, losing multiple positions.
Some other cars that were off the track too. We had the 48 car of Michael Marutz and the 06 of Ray Jacobs. Jacobs was off in the grass a little bit. Marutz, he had some trouble earlier in this race, and he's trying to work his way back up through the field.
And you see the 22 car, Brendan Littell, go by him for position. Oh, no, maybe a crossover move. Now the 06 car takes the lead right back.
The car I'm surprised to see that's having a little bit of trouble right now is that 77 of DriveThrough. He's all the way back here in what about the 5th position. Very uncharacteristic for him, especially because, one, he was my pick to win, but also, like, seeing how well he dominated Canadian Tire, he's just struggling here at this point, and those top 4 are just driving away from him.
Yeah, that is very surprising, specifically of how dominant he was at Canadian Tire. Even though Watkins Glen, Canadian Tire, two completely different road courses, still that element of turning left and right, managing to control your throttle, control your brakes. You're right, we expected a lot more out of the 77 car, but it's also very early in this race.
There was trouble, I think, up on the racetrack. Sloppy Joe, he got loose at the inside wall. Caution's out.
Caution is out, and I believe we're looking right now from Joey Stone's perspective. Yeah, he just got loose entering the carousel, spun around, and brought out the caution.
Do we have a confirmation of whether they have strict or lax yellows on?
From the looks of how Joey Stone spun, it looks like they've got strict yellows. Because he barely spun.
I want to see if this is actually the end of the stage or not. It depends, because if we do go back racing, it may only be about a 2 or 3 lap shootout.
A shootout. I think we need to go hardcore for that. What do you think?
I go hardcore for the shootout.
Absolutely. All right, let's go hardcore here at the Glen. Alright, and Joey Stone, we had to cut out hardcore for a bit because the A car, Joey Stone, just hit the wall, entering the S's, I should say. And now Diego Alvarado has a good lead on the 1 car, Brian Pasternak entering the carousel.
They're 3 wide through the bus stop, too. You got Roots. Roots just made a 3-car pass on the bottom, but DriveThrough, he's going to try to cross underneath them right here. He's really hugging that apron, hugging the curb in there, I should say, of that carousel. And
he's not able to get the
wow,
job
these
done.
guys. Well, you got Littell looking on DriveThrough's inside. He's going to try to make this pass as well, but DriveThrough moves it up again. He's going to move Moots all the way up the racetrack.
As well as Cody Hicken, and the 77 and the 30 make contact. Way up the racetrack.
Just gave him a huge shot, and I think Bassinger spun off turn 7.
And he spins. I don't know. Is that going to bring out a caution?
Right up in front of Sloppy Joe.
Wow.
Sloppy Joe ran right into Bassinger.
That did not bring out a caution. And the 28 car just bulldozed the 06 car of Ray Jacobs entering turn 1.
Wow, back up front. Like, wow, this is so much stuff going on here. Meanwhile, you have What If, who has driven through this entire field. He's closing on the back of Diego's ahead to the bus stop.
See what the 1 car, Brian Pasternak, does. This is a great opportunity for the 1 car to now gain some points, to do something. Because the A car, Joey Stone, he's right now all the way back in the back of the pack, and I'm not sure if this is stage 3 or not.
This should be stage 2.
I believe it's stage 2 right now, but regardless, the 1 car, Pasternak, trying to make a last effort. He's right to the back bumper. Remember, this is the final lap. This is the final lap of stage 2. The 1 car gonna drive it in hard into turn 7. Gets a nice drive up, but not enough. The 43 car of Diego Alvarado will win stage number 2 here at Watkins Glen.
Oh baby!
Wow!
Wow, they were going at it, and so I mean, all right. Well, now we've seen with a 2-lap shootout how hard those guys were able to push it, and we got guys crossing over each other, and like, gosh. I think we should reiterate. I think we should reiterate though that even though we do have stages in here, that these guys do not get stage points. However, it is important for What If to try to get up there back in that lead, because there are points for leading a lap and also leading the most laps. So that's something that What If has got to have on his mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so this is the end of stage 2. I believe right now after this we'll have I think 27 laps remaining to cap out the 45 laps in this race. What do you think? Should we go hardcore again? I mean, because we really weren't able to get it last time.
Wait, maybe we can wait for a little bit, because we need to call some of this action, because the way things are going, like, unless these guys get strung out, it is like hardcore racing.
Right,
well, no pun intended, but
1 car Pasternak.
We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, 1 car Pasternak on the inside, the 43 car Diego Alvarado on the outside. Green flag is back in the air to start stage 3. Dead even entering turn 1 with the 1 car Pasternak, but the 43 car of Alvarado gets a nice jump entering turn 1, but goes way up the racetrack And Cody Warburton, they're coming to you in the S's.
So that got an amazing jump right there. He's nailing his restarts all race from that front row. But Diego Alvarado is not letting him get away. Closing on that bunker. He's going to look to the inside. They're side by side. Heading to bus stop. Who's going to outbreak the other?
Side by side entering the inner loop, and the 43 car of Alvarado takes advantage of that, but goes way off track. And now the one car takes the lead right back into the carousel. Look at the 85 car, Trey Normal.
Here comes Gator. He's going to give the door to WhatiF. He's going to get an amazing drive off the carousel here, right here. Raw Gator's going to get the lead, but here comes WhatiF. Back to his door, side by side, entering turn 6. Brian's going to have the inside lane right here, gives him a little bit of a door, and look at this. Now, here comes Brendan Littell. They all go wide.
All go wide, and then the 85 car still has the preferred lane. The one car goes up the racetrack. Here comes the 85 car off turn 7, and down to the start-finish line. Absolute mayhem as Pasternak will lead this lap, but he's got a handful of the 85 car. Turn normal to his inside. Coming off.
It's amazing here. It's it's stage 3 right now, and look at all the heavy hitters are up here at the end of this race. We have Brian Pasternak in first, Raw Gator second, DriveThrough. He's come out of nowhere. He's in third right now. These guys are breaking away from this swarm of cars that are behind them from fourth on back.
And yeah, even though it's about clean right now, positions 1 to 4 is absolute mayhem from then on back. A lot of drivers are jostling for position as the 43 car all over the back bumper. Looks like he made a bit of contact with Joey Stone. Entering the carousel now, heading to you, Cody.
And Roots, he's making his way up to the field, and Sloppy Joe, he got a little bit through loose through the carousel as well. But another car on the move, Michael Roots, he's looking to the inside of the right side of Lombard, it looks like, and Sloppy Joe's right behind him. Sloppy going to drive it in. He gives a bumper to the back of the 48 car of Roots. He's going to slip up a little bit. Here comes that 43 car of Alvarado trying to get around Roots.
And that 22 car Littell, he was up in front. What happened to him? But now all of a sudden he's behind the 48 car Michael Roots. I want to say 7th or 8th place. Meanwhile, side by side, I think that's for the 4th or 5th spot. Joey Stone in the 82 car, Joseph Lombard as Joey Stone
got
easily.
Big shove going to turn number 1. DriveThrough trying to get around that 85 car of Raw Gator, isn't able to do it. And while they're doing it, two things are happening. One, the 8 car of Joey Stone is closing in on them, and then the 1 car Brian Pasternak, they are both pulled away. Top 4 right now, been able to space themselves out, but right now we have a 4-way battle for the 5th position.
However, look at who's coming. That 48 car, whoa, went a bit too hard. The 82
they
and
all
the
go
48
into the grass.
all go off track, as well as the 22 car Littell. And all the 28 car Hicken made contact with the 48 car Maroons, pushes him up the racetrack in the carousel. Here they come entering turn 6.
The loser on that whole exchange of events happening right there was the 82 car of Lombard, but he was trying to gather it as well. Doesn't matter, like these guys, these are the last 4 cars running on track right now. Hickens, Marutz, 82 of Lombard, and how about this Kamikaze? He's right there. It doesn't matter if you're first or in last, like there's battles happening all over this racetrack.
And the 48 car Marutz, he was on the move of 6th or 7th place, and now he's back, and I believe in the 10th spot, just like that. Jake Baskin, you're seeing the 38 cars. Look at that 82 car of Lombard. Aggressive moves, just forcefully pushed a 28 car out of his way to advance another position.
Well, right in front of him, you see those 2 cars getting off into the dirt right there. There's 43 of Alvarado, the 22 of Littell. Looks like the 43 of Diego, he was able to pull away from a little bit, so that battle is stalemated for a little bit. Meanwhile, when we go back up to the front, people are starting to pull away. We got an 8 car closing in on DriveThrough.
Yeah, this is for 3rd place. The 77 car DriveThrough rebounded very nicely after losing a ton of ground in the early part of this race. 4th place is the 8 car Joey Stone entering turn 6.
I think you're like right now when you're going through Joey Stone's process, is like, yes, so the car that he doesn't want to be leading right now is leading this race right now. What if? And as far as when it comes down to pit strategy, these guys, they will only have to make 1 pit stop. However, when you make that pit stop, it's going to be key. They went green with about 26, 27 laps to go in this race, and with the window being about 16 to 18 laps, you know, that gives guys about a 5 to 10 lap buffer of when they pit. Are they going to pit as soon as that window's up, or are they going to stretch the tires right now as far as they can, or are they maybe just going to split this down the middle?
Yeah, right now it is 19 laps remaining here in the sloppy Glen at Watkins Glen International. It has been a crazy race so far, specifically on the restarts. Drivers are going off track. Drivers are spinning, banging into each other. This is like Bristol on steroids. However, the one car, Brian Pasternak, he likes what he sees. No one out in front of him, but he's got the 85 car just closing in ever so slightly.
And right behind him, another car is trying to close in a little bit. Is both the 77 and the 8 car. The 8 cars look whenever it looks like he's starting to close in on drive-through a little bit. Oh, we got trouble. What if he slides up the track a little bit? He gets it going again, but he lost a bit of his lead right there.
Yeah, lost a bit of it, and with the 85 car, he's going to bring on the 77 and the 8 car, as you said there, Cody, entering one. However, he still got a pretty good gap. Looks like about a second or so on the 85 car of Norma.
Back to the pack here, see if there's any real battles going on. Everyone's kind of split up a little bit. It looks like 28 car of Cody Hickens. He slid up the track a little bit, getting into turn 1. That's going to allow the 48 car of Michael Moose to get by him. I believe that's the battle for the top 10 position. Other than that, everyone's kind of spread out at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It was second place is about to heat up as the 8 car. You can tell he's driving very, very aggressively, trying to gain as many spots as he can. He went into the grass, into the carousel, very wobbly. So he's trying to get every inch as he can from that race car.
In about one or two more laps here is when these guys will definitely be in the pit window. Like, well, I would say worry-free. So I want to see if there's going to be any guys within the next lap or two that decide to come down pit road after we complete this lap. So pit road may possibly be a busy place here in 1 to 2 laps.
Right now, third place is about to heat up as the 85 car goes a bit off the racetrack here. No harm as the 8 car, I should say, also goes off the racetrack. And now the gap for second place has closed up tremendously with the 85, the 77, and the 8.
Joey, he got a great run through there, but it looks like there's different parts of the racetrack that guys are good at. It looks like Joey Stone, he does a good job closing up through the S's, but right there, DriveThrough does a really good job of driving into the corners right there, but he slipped up right there.
Slipped up big time.
Move up Joey Stone, but oh, nope, here comes DriveThrough. He's going to try to make the crossover right here. Remember, this is one of the guys, too, that is right in front of Joey in points, so DriveThrough isn't going to let that 8 car get away. Yeah,
he's going to do everything he can to make sure the 77 car stays behind him. I believe right now, as it stands, Joey Stone, I think 15 points or 10 points or so behind the points leader right now, who is no longer DriveThrough. That goes to the driver in first place, Brian Pasternak.
Well, so I think here with only so many laps to go left, and I know it got cut short a little bit, but I think this would be the perfect opportunity for a little bit more hardcore. What do you say?
Well, now that I believe everything has calmed down a bit, let's go hardcore. How many?
I think 16.
All right. 16 laps to go here in the sloppy Glen. The 1 car Pasternak is in command as we see drivers now come in for pit stops.
Only car right now that's decided the pit has been Jacobs, but Well, I think, yep, here comes What If. He's coming down pit road right here for his stop.
WhatiFRacing forfeits the lead as of the moment right now to the 85 car of Trey Normal. Right now, no cars in front of him or behind him, so it looks like the curse of pit road issues will not continue here today. However,
don't say anything just yet. Something may happen.
yeah, you're right. But right now,
Meanwhile, when he's pitted though, that's turned the battle for first right now over to the 85 and the 8 car. Looks like Sloppy Joe. Sometimes he closes in on Gator a little bit, but other times Gator starts to pull away. You got to think here, like, what's going to be the chess match here? When do guys come down and make their pit stops?
yeah, like you said, 18 laps ago, or 16 to 18 laps ago, I believe, right now here in this race. And drivers, we could see the possibility, as we talked about in the previous show, of drivers potentially trying to stretch out the fuel maybe.
I think Ricardo had some trouble right now as a drive-through. He's fallen way back. He's allowed Joseph Lombard to get past him. The car right in front of Lombard, that 06 car of Kamikaze Games, he has already made his pit stop, so he's a lap down car at this point, but once everyone pits, he should be back on the lead lap.
As we see the 8 car, Joey Stone, now on pit road as he forfeits second place.
I don't think he could afford to stay out there too long with the 1 car having already pitted, and he's going to have a little bit more fresher tires.
Yeah, and it looks like, depending on how, with Kamikaze Games, he's risking it because with the estimated fuel, about 15 laps, and that is if you pit right now. You're just 1 lap to the good.
I have to wonder why he came in and pitted a little bit early. Maybe he didn't pit earlier, but everyone else who pits here, they should be good on their fuel run from here.
There's Cody Haken on pit road, as well as the 77 car of DriveThrough. You see the 8 car now out on pit road, or out of pit road, and it looks like the 85 car, he's going to have to come on to pit road this time by.
Oh, I think there's a car that had trouble. Sloppy Joe, he had trouble getting off pit road. He spun around, and he's getting going again. Terrible mistake for the 8 car.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, that's going to hurt him a lot. Well, depending on how pit cycles go. And the 85 car, he's not pitting, staying out.
I think maybe, I want to know, how, guys, maybe he's well, here's the thing, he's running part-time. He's not necessarily running for points. Maybe he's just, trying to pull a different strategy here, I think. Maybe just trying to conserve the tires a little bit. That way that, he could possibly just take fuel, but 27 laps, that's a lot of laps on those tires.
Yeah, and also, to look at it from a fuel perspective, I mean, how far can he go on fuel as he cuts the grass entering the carousel?
Passing the grass on the lap car of Cody. Oh, that was great.
Does that tell you he's saving fuel?
No, he's not saving.
Oh man.
I don't think he's saving fuel. I didn't know if he was saving his tires a little bit so he could take just fuel, but maybe he's just trying to stay out there as long as possible and maybe hope for a caution. There's another car that hasn't pitted as well as that 43 car of Diego Alvarado, it looks like. He's about not too far back. Looks about 2 seconds from behind him.
I believe we're around 11 or 10 laps to go here in the sloppy Glen. And the 85 car, he has still not come on pit road. It's going to be very... If he's trying to stretch it...
A number of guys, too. I don't think the 22... car of Littell has come down pit road either. I know 43 car hasn't pitted, so Gator isn't the only one on this strategy. There's a couple other guys who are stretching it out as long as possible.
So we have a majority of the drivers that are playing the game accordingly, doing their pit stops whenever they need to. You get the 06 car of Kamikaze Games who pitted a few laps earlier to try and maybe stretch it out on fuel. He has a bit more fuel in his tank compared to the drivers of Trey Normal and Diego Alvarado, the drivers that you mentioned, that haven't pitted at all.
Trouble coming out the bus stop. Brendan Littell, he gets loose. I think he went off the grass a little bit. That kicked the back end of his car out sideways a little bit. He gets rolling again, but he lost about 5 seconds right there.
And no caution. So we stay green. And we'll say right now, let's look at the 38 car. He also got loose entering the carousel. We were just going to talk about him. He's having a pretty good run so far in the 6th spot.
It looks like the 22 car. He's decided to finally come down pit road right here. I think that was enough. I know when he pitted, he had 4 laps of estimated fuel left, and also the 43 car has come down pit road as well.
Yeah.
So I believe that leaves only the 85 car of Raw Gator, who is yet to pit.
I'm not sure if we missed him pit or whatever, but I mean, I don't know. That's gonna be me. He has to go another 8 laps in order to try and make it on fuel.
I want to see too if he has a stream, whatever. I'm trying to see if he does, but
No, he
Gator, I
doesn't.
said it before, he has, he's a good road course racer. So, I want to know, is he like, I want to listen to his shift patterns here. See if he's doing anything here. He was down third right here. I mean, sometimes, like, a good way to save fuel here is just simply by, changing your shifts. But nope, no, he's not saving anything. I think he's just going all the way to the end of this fuel run, hoping there's a caution, and he's going to pit right now, because it says right now that WhatiF is in third place, about 36 seconds behind Gator, so Gator obviously has not pitted yet. Want to say, who's the other car who hasn't pitted yet?
I believe he's the only one, because going through everyone, they've all pitted, I believe, at least that we know of. The 43 just pitted, the 22 just pitted, so I don't know who else that has not pit.
The Gator's coming off the carousel right now. Head down the straightaway. I'm trying to look back and see where this car is in second. Maybe there's also, maybe a car who's, about half a track back. Maybe someone like Jake Baskin or someone else who hasn't pitted as well. They're just trying to push this to the end. But once again, Gator stays out.
This is going to be very, very, very close.
The thing, too, right now is it looks like Gator, he still has 8 laps to go. I think his fuel light has got to be on right here, because there's no way he can make it to the end. There's no way in my mind that he can make 26, 27 laps on a tank of fuel.
Yeah, right now, I believe it's 6 laps to go right now, because Brian Pasternak just crossed start-finish line for 7 to go. Or for 8 to go, I should say. So it's now 7 laps to go for the 85 car. Right now, going through...
We come into 6 to go, and then the other thing, too, is, I still want to know if he's saving his tires, like, with, 36-second lead. If Gator hasn't abused those tires too much, he could maybe just take fuel, but I don't know if those tires can hang on that long.
Yeah, and also, because he has to be saving at least. He has to be saving at least, or and he's coming in.
Oh, I think he's coming down. Yep, there he is.
6 remaining was too much for the 85 car of Normal. He comes on the pit road. Now it's going to be interesting to see, is he just going to take fuel? And if so, how much? We're looking right now to see who's in second place, and right now the driver in second place is the 8 car, or the one car I should say, of WhatiFRacing, and also the 38 car.
I'm looking on a stream right now. And it says that he's in third.
Oh no, Michael.
So I think there's another car too that has.
Roots is in second place.
Roots has.
And he's come on pit road.
Down pit road. Yep, and that is going to give the lead over officially to WhatiF.
Alright, so now WhatiF back in the race lead. Oh, so we knew there was a few drivers that haven't pitted yet.
Gator just came off the pit lane, but WhatiFRacing is already heading into the S's. Doing a good job holding that inside of the curving. He has a phenomenal lead right now. We're going to get the telemetry right here in just a little bit.
Yeah, right now, 5 seconds is the gap.
He doesn't have his way off. About 5 seconds, it looks like.
Oh, but again, the hardest part about Watkins Glen is not racing competitors, more or less just staying on the racetrack. But we've seen drivers like DriveThrough get loose or spin out by themselves, and DriveThrough is considered to be a really good road course racer. So even though he's got a 5 seconds lead, he's not out of the woods just yet.
I think the driver who's in second right now, that would be Gator, is actually still in second with Sloppy Joe having the trouble that he did. That moves Gator up into the second position. So if Gator, this could be the other strategy he had too with Gator on those fresh tires. Can he possibly make a run at WhatiF? He's a full straightaway ahead here, but I don't know. Just don't count him out yet. Fresh tires are wonders in this game.
Well, that's the thing. His stream isn't up, so we don't know what he took. We don't know if he took 2, 4, or hell, he probably could have took no tires.
I think he took 4 because he was on pit road for quite a bit. Because by the time he was in his pit box and I was looking for What If, and when What If passed him on the racetrack, it was about the length of about 14, 15 seconds.
All right, so I believe right now we are down to just a handful of laps to go.
I think they're going to be coming to 5 to go right here.
Yes, 5 laps to go when the one car Brian Pasternak crosses the start-finish line. And right now, the 06 car, Kamikaze Games. Not sure if he's pitting, or I believe he's pitting because he pitted a lot earlier.
I saw him around. I saw him around on the front, looks like off the exit of turn 1 about a lap or so ago. But tell you what, I'm riding on board right now with the 85 of Gator, and Gator, he can see What If. He's a ways ahead, but he can see him out of his front windshield right now. Once he gets to this back straightaway, maybe he can see him entering. This is not quite, but during that long back straightaway, he should be able to see him, so it gives something for Gator to look at.
Yeah, I mean, right now going through the S's and up into the inner loop, the gap is actually opened up 6.4 seconds now.
I think What If he's just doing a phenomenal job right now. So we talked about it all season long. He has been the consistent guy, and like we talked about what might have been also a Canadian Tire before that first round of green flag pit stops at Canadian Tire. He was hanging on to the drive-through no problem, but after that point, like that pit stops, and he got screwed over by the game and everything on pit road, and we never really saw him the rest of that race. But now, great job of redemption for What If.
And right now he just opened up another gap on the 85 car Raw Gator, so whatever adjustments Normal made, it's not doing any favors as the one car Pasternak is still building his lead on Raw Gator as the 38 car spins behind him.
Oh, that's going to bring out a caution or not. Looks like Pasternak is still under.
No caution.
So, yep, he's still under power. No caution. He's still going up to the S's very nicely.
But he came
I've been for the amount of time I've seen this one car, he is hitting those S's beautifully every single time. He hasn't really had a mistake at all.
You can look at the one car. There he is. And yeah, you're right. He's not making any mistakes. He's just running the racetrack, and for good reason. I mean, he's got no one in front of him, no one behind him. He's got nothing to worry about, really. He's got a huge lead. He can just take his time.
Oh, we got a car that went way off the track. Looks like Bastinger again. He went way outside the carousel. He's going to get going again. Right now, we go through, look up to What If. Coming off of turn 7 again. I believe it's going to be 3 laps to go.
And it looks like the 06 car, Kamikaze Games, he has retired as well. So he is the second retiree of the race, along with the 59 car of Rusty Walrus.
WhatiFRacing going through the S's with 3 laps to go. He's doing exactly what he do. Think about the season he's had. He's had a plethora of third-place finishes. Has finished second twice, with both of those races coming in races where, you know, he had a shot to maybe like make a run at the win, but pit road glitches have cost him the win. But right now he has an amazing gap right now over the 85 of Gator.
Yeah, right now we have really no battles right now going on. Everyone is just spread out, running their own race. No one is really making mistakes. So it looks like they've cleaned up their act here as we close out tonight's event. As a Pasternak comes out of turn 6 and enters turn 7 for 2 more rounds here at the Glen. As he comes out of turn 7, 2 laps remaining here at the Glen.
We're seeing some things in chat right now that yes, all of these guys are good on fuel right now, so there's no worries with anybody on fuel right now. They all pitted inside the window, but right now it's been a season of redemption, and like his name is What If, but it should be called When Is It Going to Happen, because Brian Pasternak has had race-winning speed all season long, just hasn't been able to put a full race together. But as he heads down this back straightaway for the second to last time, it is just about there. That win is almost an arm's reach.
Yeah, he's again, but that's still a lap and a half to go. A lot of things can happen. His number one goal is to just stay on the racetrack, make no mistakes, and he's got this thing in the bag.
I do want to point out, though, is that there is a fuel light that did pop up on Brian Pasternak's stream, but I don't think it should be an issue. But I don't know. That's got to be a little bit concerning. I think he can make it on fuel, but
It just want to
that's
point out, it's
surprising. I
on
thought he was going to
tires.
make it.
It's on tires.
It's on tires, so
Yes. As he takes.
that left front is on a 17%.
Ooh, okay. Well, white flag.
There's one to go.
1 lap to go. Presented by Black Flags Matter here at Watkins Glen.
Pasternak up through the S's for the final time here at Watkins Glen. Holds it to the right. Holds it to the left. And he's going to get a good launch on this right curb down this long back straightaway. If that left front tire could just hold on for just a little bit longer, he's taking, you can see right now, really taking his time down this back straightaway and easing into this bus stop for the last time with care.
He's got the 28 car Cody Hicken in his windshield right now, but he won't be a factor. It's too far. He's not even going to try and push the issue to push him a lap down as he enters through the carousel for the final time and enters turn 6.
It's about 3/4 of a mile to go from this point. What If has 2 more corners to navigate, just 1 more left and 1 more right. And after many races of trying, he may finally get his first win of Core League Season 2.
Everything has gone wrong from him. He has gotten taken on pit road, issues with internet and everything, but tonight, no issues, just victorious. Brian Pasternak, WhatiFRacing, wins the Sloppy Glen for his first Core League victory of the season, finally. And his victory was fueled by Unloaded Cube 88. Congratulations to Brian Pasternak, finally. Man, let's take a look now at the rest of the running order. Second place is Raw Gator. Third is Joey Stone. Fourth is Diego Alvarado. Fifth is DriveThrough. Sixth is N2C4R, Justin Lombard. Seventh is Michael Maroots. Eighth is Brendan Littell. Ninth is Cody H Gaming. 10th place is Jake Bassinger. 11th place is Kamikaze Games. And in the 12th spot is the 59 car of Rusty Walrus. So
Birthday boy, the birthday
boy
pulls off the win. No better way to get the first win of Season 2.
Yeah, I mean, someone pointed out earlier on, could he have the possibility to at least get a good run on his 25th birthday? He did that and more. Cody Workman. Round of applause for Brian Pasternak. I mean, you have to give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it before. We kept saying it. It was like, when is he going to get this win? When is he going to get this win? And I think how many races is this in a row now? Is it, except for, I believe it was, I think ever since the fiasco that happened at Homestead, he has had top 3 finishes every single week since that point. And there's no better man right now that put the end to Sloppy Joe's winning streak, and that is the last guy that Sloppy Joe wanted to see break his streak, because not only did What If get the win tonight, but also he had a max points day as well. He didn't get the pole. Sloppy got the pole, but he led a lap, and he led the most laps, and another valuable points in the books.
And took home the trophy, and that is exactly what If needed to build his points lead on. Well, depending on how the points system look like, it might lead to Joey Stone going to second place, depending on how everything stacks up. But yeah, absolutely great. What a win for Brian Pasternak. What a race as well. Specifically, those restarts were absolutely chaotic. We saw drivers that we didn't expect to have issues. Joey Stone spun before he entered the S's. Drivers like DriveThrough spin out. We saw a lot of action in this race. What would you rate tonight's Sloppy Glen?
Oh, this was fabulous. Great race. Amazing race. I think this is definitely candidate for best race of the year, in my opinion. And I mean, obviously, yeah, we had some guys that ended up spinning and whatnot, but I mean, just like in NASCAR, we have guys that spin coming off the track all the time, smooth car instance where there's no cautions or whatnot. So, phenomenal race. It was amazing to see those guys go absolutely nuts at the start of stage 3. That was phenomenal to call there. And at the end, once again, we saw, in my opinion, the best car of the night. He has some competition from Gator, DriveThrough, and Sloppy, but in the end, I still think the dominant car of the night, birthday boy, What If, got the win here tonight.
Yeah, his first win of the season, and yeah, the point standings are now going to be closer than ever between What If, Joey Stone, and DriveThrough. Well, thank you so much for tuning in for tonight's sloppy Glen. Congratulations to What If. The next time we'll see you, we'll be up at the Breaker, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where 4 turns make a right 400 for race number 10, I believe, of the season. Yes, it will be. That'll be on the 16th of January right here on the Core League YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us, Cody Workman, and thank you to everyone that tuned in. I'm Jack Krause. So long from Watkins Glen. Congratulations, Joey Stone, or to Brian Pasternak, your winner. It's tonight's sloppy Glen here at Watkins Glen.